and I'm really looking forward to Danae's answer on this one. How do you handle pressure from family members? For example, there's a lot that's going to be unpacked in this question here. For example, pressure to buy a safer/newer car just for the baby. Yes, these are the same parents that had a 10-year-old vehicle when they had us, yet suddenly the choice is reckless and unsafe for me.
Oh, I think their heart is in the same place as yours, and that they want your kids to grow and to thrive and to be happy and healthy and successful. And remembering that and reconciling this idea that your goals are the same, but it's a matter of how are you going to get there, right? And what is the path going to look like to get to those goals? And I think that always reminding ourselves that they're not trying to control you. They're not trying to make decisions for you, but they really do want what's best for you. I think when it comes to extended family members and moving towards simplicity and intentional living, that we have to make the decision for ourselves that is this going to be part of our core values that we're going to be passing on to our own children? And if it is, it's something that we need to learn to stand up for. Just like, I mean, in our family, our core values is, we don't do drugs, right? So I want my kids to know that. And when they grow up, I want them to be able to stand up for that, right? In my family, we don't do drugs. So, and it's sort of the same idea that you're taking, if they see you standing up for what's important to you and standing up for your values, they're going to be able to do that as they grow. So by just kind of swiping it under the rug and like, oh, it's okay, like it's fine, and not having those hard conversations, I feel like we're also showing our kids that some of the values we're trying to instill in them aren't quite as concrete as we want them to be.
Yeah, I would ask too, like, is this a symptom of something bigger that's going on? Because if it's just, well, hey, Kathy, if your parents want to buy you a new, safer car, let them buy you a new car. But I mean, is this a symptom of them looking at like, oh, they need a safe car? Is there other things that you have control over that they also view as being unsafe? Because the car, seriously, it might just be a symptom of what they're seeing something much greater. But I agree with you. If the parents are instilling safety into the children, doing everything they can, except for, they can't afford to buy a new car, then yes, like eventually the parents should be able to see, oh, yes, like you are instilling safety in these kids. You are worried about these kids. So yeah, I guess instill safety wherever else you can to show your parents that you are indeed concerned about your children's safety.
You can't nerf the world, though.
No, absolutely not.
And I think that's the other side of it. In fact, I think we've gone way too far as a society.
Oh yeah.
In fact, this is something that Bex and I are often we are on the edges of. I'm like, yeah, Ella is almost 6. Let her go out by herself. It's fine. And I'm like, but because my worldview is when I was 6, like I did nothing but go out by myself because my mom was drunk on the couch. And so like I was a latchkey kid at age 6 and it was not a problem. Now there's probably a comfortable in between my situation and we're going to put you in a padded room with a straitjacket on so you can't hurt yourself. It's there's somewhere in between that. We have to find that in between, but then also we have to sort of test the limits. One last thing from Rob Bell here. We're talking about communicating. He said the goal is to keep your kid talking. When your kid confides in you, that builds trust. It's as if they're saying, so one of the things we often do is we say like, well, no, because I said so, right? Yeah. That doesn't build trust. If your kid comes to you with a problem, it's as if they're saying, Mom, Dad, can you be trusted with this thing that is troubling to me, that is intimate, this deep problem? Can I trust you with this? I'm testing you by asking you these deep questions. And as a parent, you can either add to their burden or you can help your child carry it. And sometimes, I think, unfortunately, we unintentionally add to the burden of our children.
Yeah. And I think when we look at behaviors like lying and withholding information, it's often because they're afraid of our response. So if our children are afraid of how we're going to respond to whatever it is in their life that they're struggling with, or a decision that they've made, or a behavior that they're not proud of, if they're afraid to bring that to us, or if they're lying about it, it may in fact be related to our response to those behaviors in the past, and knowing that we are someone to be feared rather than someone to be trusted. And sort of how do we find the balance in that